Да? Нашего мистера Крабса. Покусали. И, конечно же, мы смотрим. Одна игрушка, класс 10 из 10. Что потом есть еще вот такие большие. У меня папа офицер.
My father is a Russian Navy officer. My mother is a history teacher, a historian. When the Soviet Union collapsed, she was preparing to become a political worker, to join the Communist Party. But the Soviet Union collapsed, and my mother went to work in a school. The servicemen don't get paid either. They delayed their salaries for 6 months. I was very much affected by all that, and I had it in my head that a child would definitely bring me back to the abyss of poverty again. I've built my career, I have money of my own, and not a bit of money, but some money. Everything is fine, and I'm like, phew, I won't have to starve. We bought an apartment, in fact, we're finishing the renovation now. And somehow, I would say that life has become a bit boring, this law against propaganda, I don't know, child-free. First of all, it will be necessary to spell out very carefully what this propaganda is, what kind of a child-free, to make it clear and precise, so that, let's say, when I was 20, I could say, parodies her 20-year-old self, oh, I don't want to have children. And so that I would not go to jail for that. There are few devoted child-free, like I used to be. The vast majority of people, young people, want children, they want to have children. Women want to give birth, and not just once, but twice, 3, 5 times, but they don't have money. People must have a roof over their heads, be sure of the future. Also, of course, I believe that there should be, I would not say it's propaganda, but creating a positive image of motherhood, so that people are not afraid, as I was, that mothership is something unaccepted and children are yikes. Over wide, we already have a law that covers all that, the law against insults. If you are insulted, well, you can sue them for committing an administrative violation. If you were insulted, if you were called a breeder, a helicopter parent, I don't know, well, some such bad words, and your children are, yikes, well, sue them for insult. In these online groups, women share their experiences, their stories of motherhood, for example about father running away, leaving them with the child, or some bad stories about giving a birth, about how they insulted someone in maternity hospitals, something like that. And it all affected me too, among other things. I mean, both lack of money and reading these stories kind of opened my eyes to the whole thing. But what I did wrong was that I read only negative things. Banning child-free propaganda, well, it won't do much, because the problem, again, is that people don't want to have children, women don't give birth, families don't have children, not because they've been told something somewhere. It's still a strong instinct, people want to have children, but they don't have the money. That's why people don't have kids, not because of something someone wrote somewhere.
Не очень. Маргиналом каким-то пришли, вон они даже дети царапнутые. Я держу.
Без автобусов, пожалуйста.
Только как донор, я только вот даю, все забирает Москва, забирает там это самое Тверь, а мне из Ржева приехал, например, вот только вчера был в Ржеве, да, с главой. Нет, там нехорошо, но просто я говорю, что я приехал. Вот, да, это хороший очень феномен. У нас там был как раз донором, они кормят всю Тверскую там область. Он говорит про то, что то есть деревня вся убита, то есть не, она осталась где-то. Мы с Архангельской области и выяснили, что на юге северов, причем не только в Архангельской области, а так.
Знаете, как мне сказал один раз один мой родственник, в Советском Союзе мы рожали.
You know, as one of my relatives once told me, in the Soviet Union we gave birth because there was nothing else to do. Now when the borders are opened, it is a completely different time. Now there are so many opportunities to fulfill yourself and do something interesting. There is no more of the Soviet system, when people woke up in the morning and went to work, then from work, everything was predetermined for years. Now there are many more opportunities in life and not all of them are connected with some kind of family role. Motherhood, especially in the first years of a child's life, implies a complete abandonment of your own goals, values, and so on, because your whole life is subordinated to this little person. I have a very good idea of what it is, and I'm not sure that I have enough inner strength for it. Moreover, because there is no such desire, because I know that if a woman really wants a child, she will go to give birth regardless of her medical condition, regardless of her financial situation, regardless if the husband is there or not. But I don't have such a need from the beginning to pass on my experience, to experience parenthood. That's why I don't have children. The child-free community is where people who share the same values discuss why they don't want to have children. Do they have the right to discuss it? They do. It's unlikely that any young people are going to come in mass and read it and say, "Oh my God, now I don't want to have children either." If it's close to you, it's close to you. It means that you had some thoughts about that anyways. If you did not have these thoughts, well, it's not like a person would change their sexual identity because of reading something written in LGBT forums. It's very unlikely. I don't think it is needed because I don't think the main problem with the falling birth rate in this country is that someone is promoting child-free. I think there are completely different reasons for that. I think that people have children when they are confident about the future. But when mortgage interest reaches 20% a year, I don't think it's a favorable time to have children in unlimited numbers. It seems to me that now a very large part of our country, I live in Moscow, is a whole separate country. In the regions, people are busy trying to survive. What needs to be done to raise birth rate? We need to stabilize the political situation, let's call it that. We need to create favorable conditions for life in the country so that maybe those people who have left there in recent years would want to return here. It is necessary to find a worthy place for Russia in the global political system, not with fists but with diplomacy, and to make it join the ranks of some good, developed countries. In many cases, the carrot works much better than the stick. And prohibitions can make it harder to achieve something that can be achieved with a good human attitude. When there is societal pressure to give birth, at some point you start to wonder if you are okay, if you are normal. Or you're broken in some way, that you are not like everyone else and you should want children, but you don't want them. Working with a counselor pretty much resolved any doubts I had on this topic. I had what is called in psychology validation. I was told there is nothing wrong with you, you just don't want to have children.